Good morning. It is the beginning of October. I am here at the trailhead at 5 a.m. before sunrise, and today I am on a mission to see some larch trees and climb another one of Washington's top 100 peaks. Today I am deep in the Chelan Sawtooth Wilderness, and I'm going to be climbing Hoodoo Peak. This is a really beautiful part of the state that I have not explored yet. I'm going to be starting in the dark and climbing up to this gorgeous summit, which is going to be a pretty big day. It's around 11.5 miles with about 4,000 feet of elevation gain, and there is a scramble at the end, but I know the views are supposed to be amazing. We have clear weather today, so it is going to be gorgeous. It is cold out there, which is why I'm filming in the car, but I gotta get going, warm up, and hopefully get high enough for a gorgeous sunrise. Let's go climb a mountain. Well, there you have it, a Sawtooth's sunrise. Oh, it is actually already warming up, and now that the sun is on me, it's even warmer. Oh, gosh, that is stunning. I'm looking into eastern Washington, so all the hills are just purple and blue, beautiful. And I also can see my future. This is the basin for Libby Lake and two top 100 peaks. This is Raven Ridge, which is one of them, and then Hoodoo is kind of behind this hump. You can't see the summit from here, but there's a basin full of golden larches up there. That's where I'm going. So amazing to see it, and oh, it's a beautiful sunrise. I still have quite a few miles to go. That mountain is not as close as it looks, I don't think, but I'm in the sun now, and this is beautiful, so very energized. As I'm sure you've noticed, I made it to the larch trees, and I'm back in the sun. I had to dip down into the valley, which was really cold, but back in the sun, it's really warm now, and surrounded by these larch trees, which are really at peak color. The forest is just glowing. And also, I am less than a mile from the base of the climb, because I am on the Libby Lake Trail, and there's a turnoff or a point where you are supposed to start shooting up the ridge to Hoodoo instead of continuing on towards the lake. And I'm getting kind of close to that point. I got about half a mile and a couple hundred feet more climbing to do, but really cannot complain when the forest looks like that. I mean, it's It's just amazing. But I do have a mountain to climb, so on we go. Well, I reached the junction where the turnoff for the boot path and then scramble up to Hoodoo Peak is. And the cool thing about this is there's an old cabin. So check this out. This is really old. I'm sure there's some history here. I am not sure how old, but wow. This is like just a little dugout type structure. Let's look inside. Yeah, this is pretty short. Oh. Yeah, I'm 5'4" and I'm barely able to stand up in here, so it's a pretty short cabin. And I mean, I think they did build them low so that you could stay warm and stuff. The window, central support post. But the easy part is over, and now the hard part begins. I have to climb another 1,300 feet, most of which is going to be boulder hopping and scrambling. This is supposed to be a mostly class 2, kind of class 3, low class 3 boulder hop to the summit. We'll see how I feel about it. And if not, then there's a beautiful lake to go check out instead. But see if this is doable, try and get the summit. All right, well, I broke the forest and I can see my future. So the route continues through here. And then basically boulder hop up this slope, gain the ridge, basically through the path of least resistance, take the ridge. That is the summit. There's like some pointy rocks up there. That's the summit. So now I have the summit behind me, and I'm heading into that little forest of larches. This is gonna take a while, but it's gonna be beautiful. I've already boulder hopped halfway up the ridge, and it looks way more intimidating from below. And there's actually a lot of really good, just little cracks and stuff to follow. The boulder hopping's good, and it's actually not so bad. I'm actually almost to the ridge, so after that it's gonna be easy sailing to the summit. So, this is so fun. And I mean, just check out the larch trees. That's amazing. I didn't realize there were so many here. The whole forest is just glowing. That is crazy. But yeah, I came up this, and it really does look worse than it is. I'm really surprised so far. But a couple hundred more feet, then I'll be on the ridge. I gained the ridge. The summit is right behind me. But look at this amazing view. The larch trees are incredible in all directions, but oh, I am tired and very eager to get on that summit. But yeah, that right there, that spire, got to get on top of that. Should be up there 15 minutes. Hoodoo Peak, the 63rd tallest mountain in Washington at 8,400 and some odd number of feet. I'll put it in the video, but oh my gosh, this is my first time in the Chelan Sawtooths, and I have to say I'm impressed. This is incredible. Look at how yellow the hills are with large trees in the mountains. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna relax because boy, that was a hard climb, and then explore and enjoy this view because wow, it's incredible. Incredible. All right, well, the wind has died down enough that I think I can give the tour. There's some pretty fierce wind coming up the valley, but oh my gosh, this is a really cool summit, and this is so much further east. I've never climbed here, so I'm really excited for this panoramic view. It's so different. I guess we'll start here with the summit. This right here, this is the true summit of Hoodoo Peak. There's this rock here also. That's like a foot shorter, the false summit. And then we'll start looking south. We've got Mount Stewart and the enchantments over here, Rainier, and then you can kind of see Mount Daniel, Alpine Lakes Wilderness further south. And then as we move this way, we're going into the Glacier Peak Wilderness, so you can even see the top of Glacier Peak. And then these mountains here, these are the Chelan Sawtooth Mountains. You can see just how the larch trees have painted the mountains gold. It's so beautiful to see so many forests of them just coloring the mountains. And then as we go further north, we're into the North Cascades National Park with some really amazing mountains. It looks so jagged out there. And then one of the interesting things about this peak is it's really far east. And so this is like the very end of the Cascades as far as east goes. So after that, we've got the rolling hills of eastern Washington down to the river down there, which is just gorgeous. I always love the way the blue shadows play on these hills. It's beautiful. And then coming back around, we have Raven Ridge. That's another top 100 peak. That's a pretty crazy climb. And then this is the valley that I have to go back out. But this is just so different from anything else I've climbed in the state. It's so far away. It's so hard to get out here because it's such a long drive, but wow, it is worth it. This is so unique. And gosh, first time in the Sawtooths, and I have to say I definitely already want to come back. These are some amazing mountains. It must be incredible to explore them. Whew. I need to get my snack now. I am starving and there's some pretty good snack spots. As much as I do not want to leave, I have hit my turnaround time, and so I have to begin my descent. This is probably going to take a while, or at least the first part, just because I have to boulder hop back down into the basin. After that, it's going to be pretty easy. So I have to go down this, cut down this. Once I get back down there, then the trail takes me out. It's just the next hour or so that's going to be tricky. Just gonna take it slow. I fueled up on snacks. I'm hydrated, so ready to attack this ridge. Whew. And I'm not gonna film too much of the down climb for obvious reasons. I'm just gonna focus on getting down safely. But I will film lots of the larch trees because the larch trees are really showing off. I safely made it back down from that mountain, and the descent was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. And now I just have to do a pretty easy 4 miles back down to my car, because the trail itself is actually very gradual. So the hard part is over. Now I just need to put in the miles. But I have a very long drive ahead of me as well, so I'm definitely going to be wrapping up tomorrow. But like that was just so cool, and I will include plenty of larch footage because this is really just kind of fairyland. This is a proper larch forest in prime color, and in this now afternoon light, it's really kind of set ablaze. Look at those. But yeah, I'm tired. I want to get these miles done quickly and then enjoy my drive. So I will have more composed thoughts on this tomorrow, but overall, absolutely incredible. Well, that was Hoodoo Peak, and gosh, what a fun climb. I have to say, any top 100 peak in Washington is an adventure, and it's just been so much fun. When I was doing research for Hoodoo Peak, I was promised boulder hopping galore, and I definitely got that. The climb up to the ridge and the final ascent to the summit is just boulder hopping paradise. So if you like boulder hopping, this is definitely a good summit. A couple of notes on this though. This is not a trail once you start heading to the peak, and it is a little bit more route findy, especially once you get to the ridge with the boulders. There is not one path, it is choose your own adventure. And so I would say you definitely want to experience route finding, you want to experience on this kind of terrain before you start trying to attack this mountain. That being said, I think it's pretty straightforward. It's gain the ridge, follow the ridge to the summit, and there wasn't like a ton of exposure. It's just a lot of boulder hopping, and obviously if you fall on these rocks, it is going to hurt a lot. But this was my first trip over to the Chelan Sawtooths, and I have to say I just fell in love. Those are some amazing mountains, and it's just so different feeling from a lot of the mountains that I am usually exploring closer to home. And yeah, I mean, a top 100 peak, you're in for an adventure. It was just so much fun, and I'm so glad I got to see it with the larch trees in full fall color display. The area was just gorgeous, and it was just really fun. But yeah, I would say this is not, as far as like top 100 peaks go, this is one of the easier ones, but it definitely, all of these peaks require just, you know, the extra experience and stuff. And I would say definitely the route finding, because if you were to get off, it would be really annoying, and you could get really off route and get cliffed out if you went drastically far off. And I wanted to note, going on that for route finding, Peak Bagger is your best friend for good, reliable GPS tracks. Apps like All Trails and stuff, I noticed the GPS track for that on this peak specifically is not particularly accurate and takes you up a much harder way that I would not recommend. So just something to know. All these kinds of peaks require a little bit more research, a little bit more effort, but oh my gosh, it's so worth it. But yeah, it's just a stunning area. I'm so glad I got to spend some time in it, so glad I got to explore, and what a way to start larch season. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and here are my favorite pictures from the climb today. Enjoy.